You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. The PIAA decided to postpone the start of the fall sports season for 2 weeks. That being said, this afternoon's decision looks to still be holding on to hope after all when it comes to game time. The decision comes a day after the governor recommended no sports until at least January 1st because of the pandemic. After that, the Departments of Health and Education jointly recommended suspending pre-K through 12 school and recreational youth sports until next year. The language of the motion mentions deferring the start of all fall sports for 2 weeks to August 24th, during which staff would be keeping an open line of communication to fine-tune how to safely bring back competitive play this fall. Since the date was set for August 24th, that would push back the August 17th start of official practices. However, the way things are set right now technically wouldn't interfere with PIAA season opening games scheduled for the weekend of the 28th. We'll have to wait and see how the next 2 weeks pan out for the future of the 2020 fall sports season. A murder suspect from North Carolina led police on a high-speed chase through parts of Schuylkill County. Mahanoy City Police received information Thursday from North Carolina detectives about 2 people wanted in a homicide investigation that were in the borough. An officer spotted the vehicle of 43-year-old Christopher Preble of Harmony, North Carolina, traveling on East Center Street. As police began to follow him, he began to accelerate as he headed up Vulcan Hill. The chase led to Interstate 81 northbound, where Preble lost control of his vehicle near the McAdoo exit. Preble was taken into custody without further incident and charged by Mahanoy City Police with fleeing and eluding, aggravated assault, and recklessly endangering another person. He was then taken to Schuylkill County Prison, where he continues to await extradition back to North Carolina. State Representative Tara Toohill announced today that 5 school entities within the 116th Legislative District were awarded academic grants. The funding comes from the Continuity of Education and Equity grants, which can be used to purchase computer equipment and instructional materials. The Hazleton Area School District will get $359,000, and Berwick area will get just over $37,000. The Hazleton Area Career Center was also awarded over $162,000 in funding to assist in resuming operations and implementing health and safety measures. The Pennsylvania Department of Health reported 25 new positive COVID-19 cases in Luzerne County. But the good news, once again, Luzerne County hasn't seen a coronavirus-related death in the past 2 weeks. Luzerne County saw over 3,300 confirmed positive cases and 184 deaths so far. Statewide, 758 new positive cases and 15 deaths were reported as of today. That hikes the state's confirmed and probable case count up to 117,279, with 7,297 deaths. A Berwick man's facing charges after allegedly raping a 16-year-old girl. Borough police say 38-year-old Carlos Zavala Zamora recently moved out of an apartment unit on Walnut Street and went to the female victim's family residence to return the keys. While there, he came into contact with the teen, who claimed he touched her and pushed her on a chair in the living room before sexually assaulting her. He then left the home and went to work at Original Italian Pizza, where he was hired just a month ago after leaving King's Pizzeria. The girl's mother contacted him, and he later returned to the residence, which is when police arrived on scene and took him into custody. Zavala Zamora was charged with rape, indecent assault, and burglary. He remains behind Columbia County Prison bars for lack of $75,000 bail. A pedestrian was hit and killed by a train near the Oak Street Railroad crossing in Plains Township Thursday afternoon. Reports say a man was listening to music while walking on the tracks around 3 p.m. as the train was traveling from Pittston Township. The operator of the train showed no signs of impairment and wasn't speeding. The victim, who was just recently identified as 19-year-old Gabriel Arbertelli, was pronounced dead by the Luzerne County Coroner's Office. The Plains Township Police Department and Norfolk Southern Railway's investigation into the incident is ongoing. Pennsylvania State Police are investigating an online threat made against the Luzerne County District Attorney. Troopers at the Wyoming Barracks issued a press release Thursday stating that threats were made on the morning of June 30th against DA Stephanie Salavantis and an unidentified trooper. No charges were filed at this point in time, as state troopers continue to investigate further into the incident. A McAdoo man decided to ingest illegal drugs rather than just admit to Tamaqua police that he had them in his possession. 43-year-old David Bilsack's SUV was pulled over in the area of Mauch-Chunk and Pine Streets the afternoon of July 23rd for having expired registration and a burnt-out brake light. When Bilsack exited the vehicle, he began to flee on foot, but was quickly apprehended. He admitted to police to having suspected meth, but decided to eat it while running away. He was also wanted by state parole and driving on a suspended license. Bilsack faces charges of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, tampering with evidence, driving on a suspended license, and resisting arrest. The Hazleton Police Department added another vehicle to help parole the city streets. Wyln's Phil Kaufman has more.
Here at City Hall, we got first look at the Hazleton Police Department's brand new patrol car.
Our fleet is getting much older and depleted. We're trying to find alternatives and start working in some newer vehicles to the fleet and getting rid of the older ones.
The car is a 2021 Ford Explorer, purchased through Rotep Motors, and the upfitting was completed by Kovach of Nesquehoning. It was purchased using federal seizure funds.
Most of them enjoy having a new vehicle. It's been some time since they've had a new patrol vehicle. We're also exploring with the mayor and council several other alternative programs where we may get into a leasing program and cycle out new vehicles every year for the department, or cycle them out every 5 years, where it'll bring a little bit more effectiveness to our department. Less maintenance, less upkeep, better fuel mileage, and newer vehicles and a better appearance.
It's important for the department to have these new vehicles, allowing for efficiency and preparedness.
As having a newer vehicle, it's obviously a better lighting system. The officers are a little better proactive when they have something that they enjoy using more. Driving around an old beat-up car isn't conducive to police work, especially for the amount of work that we go through here. Our officers have a new vehicle, they're out responding, they're going to be more likely to be out driving and being more proactive, versus with the older vehicle that they're afraid the vehicle might break down and they might be sitting in a spot longer than patrolling.
And as always, a special thanks to the community for their continued support.
Generally right now, our community outpour has been fantastic. Thank you everyone in the community for everything they've been doing with us, and thank you for their continued support, and please continue to call when you have a problem. We will do everything we can to help.
Reporting from Hazleton City Hall, this is Philip Kaufman with WYLN News.
Thanks, Phil. Coming up on WYLN News, Jay Zapata's making a home in Bloomsburg next week, plus reports behind some unspent CARES Act funding. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Charlie. I am 8, and the forecast for tomorrow is partly cloudy.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Stacy. Normally for our Feel Good Fridays, I tell a little story, or Dr. John and I show some stretches. We discuss anatomy, maybe a nerve or a muscle. But today I want to ask you a question, maybe a two-part question. If you had $86,400 and somebody stole $10,000 from you, would you throw the other $76,400 away? I know I certainly wouldn't. So the true question is, if there is 86,400 seconds in a day, and somebody, for 10 seconds, irritates you or says something negative, would you allow it to ruin the other 76,400 seconds that you have in that day left? I hope the answer is no to that too, folks. Feel good, friends.
Looking for information on the coronavirus pandemic? Make sure it's from a reliable source. Go to WYLNTV.com and click on the Lehigh Valley Health Network banner for the real facts about the coronavirus pandemic. And watch WYLN News live at 5:30 for updates on this ongoing crisis. The source matters now more than ever. WYLN, we're your local network.
For all you Mexican food lovers out there, good news. A familiar face to WYLN's opening a new restaurant in Bloomsburg next week. Now Ryan Osachi has the details.
You may know Ricardo Santos from his bright yellow Mexican food truck, his location at the Pilot, or his location at the Laurel Mall. You may also recognize him from the show he has with us right here on WYLN, Cooking with Jay Zapata. What you may not know is he is officially opening a brand new Mexican restaurant in Bloomsburg next week.
I'm so excited and happy that we have a building. That's right. On Bloomsburg, that's right. We're coming to Bloomsburg next week. I'm very excited and happy that we are going to move into a big building. That's right. It's a beautiful, the decoration is the authentic Mexican way. I mean, it's just going to be amazing. But let me just tell you what we got running at the moment. We got the one on Pilot is running. We have the one on 22nd and Church, and also the Laurel Mall. But I'm so happy. You won't believe it. It's like having a new baby.
This project has been in the works for over a year now, and Ricardo owes it all to the community who has supported him throughout his time in the area. Next Wednesday, August 12th, he will finally have the grand opening for his new restaurant.
We're going to have a grand opening, everybody more than welcome, on East Main Street, 112 East Main Street on Bloomsburg. It's going to be amazing. We're going to be serving most of our regular menu, but we're going to be creating a different item, maybe about 5 of them with a main. Also, we're going to have desserts. We'll be taking orders as you walk in, sit you on an orderly matter with the ordinance codes, of course.
If you haven't stopped by one of Jay Zapata's locations, Ricardo Santos has a message for you, because next week would be the perfect time to try something new.
You haven't tried my food? Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me! Please stop by. And you are not just supporting this crazy guy, you are supporting a community. Because by us being there, we're giving you fresh food, and we are hiring, we are creating jobs. So don't forget, it's not just the food, it's a community thing. Let's go, come and visit us. 112 East Main Street on Bloomsburg, PA.
As Ricardo said, next Wednesday, August 12th, will be the grand opening for his new Mexican restaurant in Bloomsburg at 112 East Main Street. So, be sure to stop by and support Jay Zapata. Reporting for WYLN News, I'm Ryan Osachi.
Thanks, Ryan. Love Ricardo's high energy. State Representative Gerald Mullery wants the Public Utility Commission to say no to a $1 million water bill hike. Mullery's urging the PUC to reject the $138.6 million rate hike that Pennsylvania American Water's been on the hunt for. In a letter written to the PUC commissioner, Mullery cited the pandemic and ensuing economic hardships residents continue to face this year as to why he'd like to see the rate hike rejected. Mullery went on to say he cannot sit idly and stay silent because now's not the time to add to the stress and anxiety of an already overextended Pennsylvania population. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton will once again expand its weekend outpatient lab hours. Outpatient lab services were suspended earlier this year due to spring's spike in COVID cases. Outpatient lab services at the hospital's main campus are Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m., and starting August 15th, Saturdays and Sundays, 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Over at the Health and Wellness Center, outpatient lab services run Monday to Friday, 6:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., and once again starting August 15th, Saturdays, 7 to 11 a.m. The House Majority Leaders urging the governor to deploy unspent CARES Act funding for student internet connectivity. The Wolf administration reportedly has yet to spend almost 2/3 of the $104 million in CARES Act funds that the state received to improve internet connectivity, which includes rural broadband access for Pennsylvania's K-12 and college student population. Wolf reportedly does not need legislative authorization to spend this money either. House Majority Leader Carrie Benninghoff responded to reports by calling to rapidly deploy those remaining funds. Doing so would help provide rural broadband access and ensure that all types of cyber school students have better connectivity to receive the educational opportunities that they're entitled to. Coming up on Evansville's News Choice, your week in review, plus this week's friendly furry picks out of Luzerne County. Stay with us.
It's okay that everybody ignores me when I drive. It's fine, because I get a safe driving bonus check every 6 months I'm accident-free. Because I don't use my cell phone when I'm driving, even though my family does and leaves me all alone. Here's something else. I don't share it with Mom. Right, Mom? I have a brand new putter you don't even know about. It's awesome.
Safe driving bonus checks only from Allstate. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
Visit your local Allstate agent, the McNeilis Agency in Hazleton at 1092 North Church Street, or in Hometown in the Hometown Village Square.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Monday. Police were still looking for the man responsible for the fatal I-81 hit and run that killed a man working in a construction zone around 1:15 Saturday morning near Hazleton. By Monday night, an arrest was made. 27-year-old Zachary Gerbino of Sugarloaf Township confessed to the crash that took the life of 30-year-old Kevin Dendolk of Montgomery County. Gerbino was driving his grandmother's gray Hyundai Accent at the time of the incident. A search warrant was executed at his home Monday, where authorities found the partially disassembled car in the garage. Gerbino told police he was drinking before the accident and realized he hit something. He told his parents he hit a deer, only later becoming aware he was responsible for the fatal crash that took place at the same location. He was charged with a second-degree felony for accidents involving death or personnel injury and a second-degree misdemeanor for tampering with evidence. He apologized to Dendolk's family while being let out of a courtroom Monday night before being taken to prison. Tuesday. An investigation into an animal hoarding and neglect case continued in Mahanoy Township with charges pending. Code enforcement received a complaint about a strong odor from inside a home at 21 High Street in Park Place Saturday morning. Humane officers and officials from Hillside SPCA, Ruth Steinhardt SPCA, and Save the Strays responded to the scene, where 44 cats were found, seized, and taken to be evaluated by veterinarians. Ruth Steinhardt SPCA released a statement that said, "To say they are unhealthy is an understatement. These poor cats never knew what cuddling with their human was. They never knew a clean environment. All of them are scared and stressed, and we are doing everything in our power to provide for them. Over 40 animals who never asked to live like this are now sitting in a shelter, waiting for someone to finally love them. The cats will be posted for adoption ASAP once they're ready, so be sure to contact the shelters to learn more on how you can do your part." Wednesday. The Hazleton Area School Board unanimously approved a flexible plan to phase into returning to classes while giving parents the final say through a survey. Pre-K and possibly the district's Career Center students will meet in person when school kicks off September 8th. But parents who haven't taken the survey yet should call the child's school because the district found outdated contact information for many. The district will calculate how many days each pupil could attend per week safely once the official numbers are in. Administration will hold future meetings for parents to explain the details before the first day. Thursday. A New York man was charged with criminal homicide and other related crimes in connection to the death of Jonathan Hernandez back in June. The Luzerne County District Attorney's Office, in conjunction with Pennsylvania State Police, charged Giovanni Morales Jr. According to reports, Morales stayed with the victim when he came to Luzerne County for a job June 24th, and the two were seen over the next 2 days at various construction sites in the county. They were seen on the 26th at numerous spots in West Hazleton before returning to Hernandez's home on Winters Avenue. It was there Hernandez was found unresponsive by an employer that Saturday and pronounced dead at the scene. Morales is still at large and should be considered armed and dangerous, but investigators believe he fled back to New York. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is being asked to contact PSP at 570-459-3890. Friday. The PIAA decided to postpone the start of the fall sports season for 2 weeks. That being said, this afternoon's decision looks to still be holding on to hope after all when it comes to game time. The decision comes a day after the governor recommended no sports until at least January 1st because of the pandemic. After that, the Departments of Health and Education jointly recommended suspending pre-K through 12 school and recreational youth sports until next year. The language of the motion mentions deferring the start of all fall sports for 2 weeks to August 24th, during which staff would be keeping an open line of communication to fine-tune how to safely bring back competitive play this fall. Since the date was set for August 24th, that would push back the August 17th start of official practices. However, the way things are set right now technically wouldn't interfere with PIAA season opening games scheduled for the weekend of the 28th. We'll have to wait and see how the next 2 weeks pan out for the future of the 2020 fall sports season. That's it for your week in review here on Wyln News.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Tune in every Sunday night on Wyln from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. for hard-hitting, high-flying, non-stop action as only Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling High Voltage can bring you. That's Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling every Sunday night on Wyln. I'll see you in the ring.
How you doing, everybody? This is Ricardo Santos from Yay Zapata. That's right, Yay Zapata in the house. That's what's up, that's what's up.
Meet Ricardo Santos. This is one of his Mexican food trucks. He is not a chef.
I'm not the chef.
But he makes amazing Mexican food. And he has joined the Wyln family with his own cooking show, Cooking with Jay Zapata.
Catch us this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, where you'll learn all about massage therapy and the benefits of that in chiropractic. We'll see you this week.
Dorney Park and Wildwater Kingdom presented a $15,000 check yesterday to benefit LVHN's COVID-19 Emergency Fund. The money was raised during Dorney Park's 4th of July drive-in fireworks event. LVHN's COVID-19 Emergency Fund supports the growing needs of patients and staff amid the pandemic, which can be used to offset COVID-related expenses and during recovery periods. However, The most notable partnership between the two takes place every November, when the park hosts LVHN's annual Drive-Through Flu campaign. This year's free drive-through flu shots will be given at Dorney Park November 7th, as well as at Coca-Cola Park in Allentown, November 8th. If you've been thinking about adopting a pet, well, there's no time like the present, so check out the SPCA of Luzerne County for all breeds, shapes, and sizes of pets. The shelter's got more furry friends available for you to check out this week. Everyone, meet Shandy. This young pup found himself roaming the streets back in July. He was brought to the shelter to be loved and fed, but now he's ready for adoption and looking for his forever family. And next up is Ziggy. He's a sweet boy who lives at the shelter with his 3 siblings, Zane, Zorro, and Xander. Their names might sound like a snooze fest, but these little babies are full of fun and can't wait to play in their new homes. The shelter's still adopting out new best friends amid the pandemic, so be sure to call 570-825-4111. That's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com, where you can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.
Hi, I had a very minor fender bender